This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP network.
Greetings everyone, and welcome to the unofficial Universal Great Britain podcast. I'm Dawn, and I'm here with Guy and Lee, and we are going to continue delving into Universal theme park coming to Bedford in the UK.
For episode 5, we are going to wrap up our discussion on the information pack that Universal released in 2024.
To everyone's happiness, because I'm tired of doing this thing right now.
Yeah, there is a lot of information to get through, and some of it is a little bit dry.
It is, but I think it's worth putting out there, because a lot of people won't necessarily... I'll be honest, I would never have read this if it wasn't for us doing these episodes, quite honestly.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And I just think it's easier information for people to take in if they're listening to us rather than having to read it themselves, which is kind of why I wanted to put it out there.
But I was you made me think there that people who don't live within the Bedford area, would they, unless you search, is it easy to find this sort of information online? Like, if you're not given the packs, if you're not given all this information, can you... I've never actually...
Well, Universal have a website dedicated to the UK project.
Yes,
and you can get it there.
Yeah, this information pack is in the archive on universalukproject.co.uk.
Oh,
but unless you're explicitly seeking it out, this isn't something you're going to stumble across.
No.
Unless you're a local resident.
And I'll be honest, some of what we've covered recently, just about Universal as a whole, has been quite interesting, honestly. A lot of that stuff we talked about with the accessibility and stuff on the last episode was really interesting.
Oh yeah, there are some really interesting bits of information in here, but it's just surrounded by a lot of sort of PR, marketing type stuff.
Like, as someone who's been covering Universal Orlando for 15 years now, I've found information I didn't know while covering this park, which is interesting. Continuing on, yes, their next section is investing in local communities. Are there any local groups, organisations or educational institutions you think we should partner with should we take this project forward? And obviously this was put out like a year ago, so they are moving forward. Universal replied by saying, we have a long-standing track record of partnering closely with and investing in the local communities where we operate. Should we proceed with this project, we would continue to explore with the council and local groups how we can best embed ourselves into and support this community. Some of the ways we have done this elsewhere have been included below. We're going to get there in a second. And we welcome any initial suggestions for the sort of community initiatives and engagement you think we should consider in the future.
This reminds me of when you go through the checkout at Tesco and you get those little blue tokens that you drop in to vote on which local community projects that they should be supporting next.
I've never heard of that in my entire life.
Haven't you? Oh, it's quite a nice thing. At least at our local big Tesco, you see these little blue coins and you could vote on like one of 3 different local projects.
For all our American listeners, Tesco is a grocery store, a little like Walmart, but a little bit more upscale.
Yes, somewhere between Walmart, but not quite Publix.
Target. Actually, it's probably like Target, actually, yeah.
So close up, supporting our community's Universal Orlando case study. Since opening in 1990, our team at the Universal Orlando Resort has led initiatives that have produced real and tangible benefits for our local communities.
One of these is the Universal Orlando Resort Team Member Volunteer Program. Last year marked the 25th year of our volunteer program, which aims to support local charities and community organizations. Over this period, team member volunteers have committed more than 600,000 hours of service, with 64,000 hours volunteered alone last year.
It's interesting how Universal Orlando is like the benchmark for... It's not even the oldest park, yet Universal Orlando has become the benchmark for what Universal do as a company. A theme park company.
It's the flagship, isn't it?
It really
it's like
is.
Disney and Disney World.
Yeah.
But I had no idea about this.
No.
I had no idea.
They've also got the Universal Orlando Foundation. Now, since its formation in 1998, the foundation has awarded more than $32 million in grants to organizations in Central Florida that provide aid to local individuals, children, and families. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really not good, yeah. I wonder if they're going to do that as one of these projects or things that they're going to implement in the UK one too.
That's certainly what it sounds like.
I think the implication is that they're kind of saying this is what we do when we have a resort.
It's that thing of like, why? Another reason why you would want us in your country, in your local community, because we will not only bring tourism to your area, but we are going to invest in your local community by doing this type of thing.
Okay, so continuing on, Bites Camera Action, partnership with Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida, Universal Orlando, the Universal Orlando Foundation, Orange County Public Schools, and Second Harvest Food Bank partnered to create Bites Camera Action more than a decade ago. This innovative program features a mobile food pantry designed to provide food to families and youth throughout Central Florida. Over the past 12 years, this mobile food pantry has provided more than 1.6 million meals to school children, veterans, and other residents of Central Florida. The Universal Orlando Foundation has supported the Bites Camera Action program with more than $2.1 million in grants, and Universal Orlando team members have donated more than 50,000 volunteer hours to support the program.
Wow.
Again, I had
The
no
thing
idea.
is, like walking around the parks or anything, it's not kind of,
You don't know that this
I
thing
wouldn't say
exists.
advertised,
Yeah.
but it's not, there's no signposts, there's no, donation boxes, there's no, I don't know, it's not really
In a way, though, that's quite nice.
It
So
is, yeah.
they're not doing it for the sort of recognition.
Yeah.
They're doing it
clout.
because they want to
Yeah.
help the community.
And
They're doing it secretly in the background almost.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
It's one of those things. Well, I don't know whether we've mentioned this on there. You know the pool at McGilligut's pool in Sue's Landing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've ever looked in there, there's always coins thrown in there, and people throw them in there for like, oh, make a wish. But all those coins get taken out. I don't know how many, like maybe once a year, and that all gets donated to Give Kids the World as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's really nice.
And having been to Give Kids the World, that charity is amazing.
And I mean, food banks are becoming more and more relevant over here, certainly.
Yes.
I mean, we've donated to local food banks because they've, unfortunately, due to cost of living crisis in this country, become absolute necessity for a lot of people just to make it through the week.
Yeah. I mean, looking at that one for Central Florida, I know what the US is like, and I know we talk about it over here, and I'm not disparaging towards people who say there's a cost of living crisis, but I don't think it's the same here as it is in the US. And
No, you're right.
And so donating like to children's and like families and stuff is huge in Central Florida. That's massive.
Yeah. I mean, I think we do take for granted the fact that we have a much better social safety net here
Yes.
than they do in the States.
Massively.
yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sure that this sort of program would be incredibly well received over here.
Absolutely.
Well, they also focus on being a good neighbor and managing our impact. They asked, how do you think we could best protect local wildlife and ecology? Collaboration and community engagement are at the core of any new experience we explore. We work to ensure that the significant benefits that our theme parks and resorts bring are reinvested into the wider area, but also focus on operating our theme parks effectively to minimize disruption.
Of course, you would expect them to say nothing else.
Yeah, they really need to do that.
Focusing on wildlife and local ecology, they said landscaping and greening. Greening, is that a word? Landscaping and greening play an important part in how... I've never heard that term before, by the
I've
way.
never heard that.
I know.
Landscaping and greening play an important part in how we design and create our theme parks. We plant thousands of trees and create green, natural buffers around our sites to both enhance biodiversity and shield local communities. We are talking to the Forest of Marstonville about how the proposal might contribute to their policy goals, including environmentally led regeneration of the Forest of Marstonville. We like that, saying that over and over again. And has anyone heard of the Forest of Marstonville, by the way?
No.
Because I
No.
haven't. Nope. And possibly increasing tree coverage across the site. For this site, we plan to undertake a landscape visual impact assessment and consider how landscape screening positioned around the boundary of the theme park and along access ways could help reduce its impact. We are undertaking detailed ecological assessments to further inform our thinking, and we are already considering how we could work with local authority and wildlife groups to enhance and protect the county wildlife sites nearby, such as Kempton Hardwick Pit and Coronation Pit. I'm learning so much UK geography, by the way, but it's all like 5 hours away from where I live.
I would love to see Americans' reactions to the sort of place names that come up in this.
Well, it's funny how many times Dawn's commented that it all sounds very Harry Potter-ish.
It really
It
does.
does, yeah.
Yeah. Universal has been repeatedly recognised for its work to build healthy, sustainable environments in connection with the development of its newest theme park, currently under construction in Orlando. Actually, it's already opened because I was there we were all there on opening day.
We were all there.
Fully enough, I've been trying to satiate my need to want to go back to Epic Universe by just watching loads of walkthroughs at the moment. It's kind of killing me.
You see, we are avoiding that because we are going back for the first time since opening day in a few months' time, and I'm trying to almost go into a blackout so that it feels fresh again when we go back.
Well, I'm going to remind Guy that opening day was not the last time he was there.
Okay, 2 days after opening day was the last time I was there. Our trip to the opening of Epic Universe was the last time we were there. Although I do want to watch that documentary series, and that's a lot of footage.
I'm hoping friends of ours might be in there. They got interviewed for part of it, so a very close friend of mine, was there during some of the filming of it, so we'll keep an eye out for them.
Interesting.
The video, the YouTube vlog I'm actually watching at the moment is a vlog from opening day, and I'm literally watching it just to see if I can see myself. And then I keep thinking, Guy and Dawn were there as well, so I'm going to keep an eye out for them. I haven't seen anybody yet. You just need to watch
Tim Tracker's video, and you'll see us having breakfast in the background.
Oh, well, I watched Tim Tracker's video and see me and Tracy riding Curse of the Werewolf as well. Because there's one bit where he stood there. This is all rubbish, by the way, but I'm just going to leave it in. It's funny. He's like the big loop at the back. He's like, you can see, there's no one on it. And he go, there is people on it. I was like, that's me and Tracy. Hilarious. Anyway, Universal was recognized by both the United States Environmental Protection Agency and the Council for Sustainable Florida for protecting human health and environment and restoring disturbed and dehydrated wetlands to their former natural habitat, helping to ensure that Florida will be enjoyed for future generations. This included one of the largest privately funded remediation programs in the United States. Universal also constructed a regional strategic surface water management system that addresses pollution abatement, provides stormwater treatment and flood attenuation. There's a lot of words there, by the way. And established open water lakes. What's an open water lake?
It's the opposite of a closed water lake.
What's a closed water lake? I don't understand.
But then isn't an open water lake leading into
the sea?
Like the sea, yeah.
Yeah.
But then isn't that called something else? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I would think. It's not a lake at that point. Anyway, we'll go back to the beginning of that. Universal also constructed a regional strategic surface water management system that addresses pollution abatement, provides stormwater treatment and flood attenuation, and established open water lakes and wetland buffers that provide diverse wildlife habitat and open natural trail areas while protecting Shingle Creek, the headwaters of the Everglades ecosystem. Is that meant to be? Is that a play on words? Is that headquarters but headwaters? Because please tell me it is, because I love that.
That would be wonderful if it is.
It would be wonderful. Shingle Creek.
I've heard of Shingle Creek, actually.
I've heard of Shingle Creek, yeah. And the Everglades is a stunning,
massive. Yeah, I've never been.
Absolutely terrifying place.
I've never been to the Everglades. It's funny, isn't it, how I've been visiting Florida for over 20 years and I've never done an airboat ride on the Everglades.
I have no desire to ever do an airboat ride.
I really want to.
Let's get you on an inflatable boat and go and look at alligators.
Why not?
Because inflatable and teeth, they're
not going to attack you. People do it multiple times a day. Kirsty, who I work with, she went on one when they were there a couple of weeks ago and she said it was fantastic.
I mean, to be honest, my biggest concern is I think I would be eaten alive by mosquitoes.
I mean, there is that. Dawn, would you do an airboat ride?
No, not in Florida.
Well, I'd do it in like somewhere I can't think of.
I do it in the Thames,
Yeah, that's what
it's Thames.
I have done an airboat ride in the Thames. It's just a very fast airboat. It's like an inflatable speedboat thing. It's good fun.
Okay.
I did an airboat ride in Spain. Anyway,
maybe one day. Like if Dawn ever gets like sick of me, if I get sick of her, maybe we'll sort of murder mystery it and walk out onto the Everglades and one of us will come back.
See who comes back, yeah.
Yeah.
Knives Out, Murder on the Everglades.
I'm looking forward to the new Knives Out film next month. That's
I didn't
exciting.
know the new one was out. Okay, interesting.
Anyway, continuing on with water resources, there are a number of water bodies within the site, including part of Kempston Hardwick Pit, Elstow Brook, and a tributary watercourse that crosses the proposed location of the theme park. Our development would include the design of sustainable drainage plans that control runoff into water bodies and minimize flood risk.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me either.
No, weird sentence. I think if we knew more about ecology, this would probably be easier to get through.
That's the thing. The average person reading this document's not going to have any idea of this stuff, but it sounds good.
It does. It sounds like they care and they've done their research.
I think they do. I think they do care genuinely. At the end of the day, I know they're a company and they're trying to make money, but I think they're not daft that they know they're going to come in, especially over here with the history that we have in areas that they need to be cognizant of the ecology and everything that goes with it. I know money talks at the end of the day, but yeah, it's huge.
I mean, the London project got shut down for a number of reasons, but one of it was a protected species of spider on the on the site. So, you know, the protections we have in this country are pretty good on this front.
Well, I think it's quite interesting when you look at the amount of theme park companies that have looked to build theme parks over here over the past 20 years. Because I think the last one was Paramount. We're looking to build one. That was a
partner with the London project. That was part of that thing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
But that only officially got killed like a year ago. Like it was officially dead in the water.
The writing was on the wall for a while for that one.
But then that shows you that it's not just a case of money talks.
No. Although Lightwater Valley is up for sale.
You can have it.
Yeah, I think it's like 3 million quid or something.
I haven't been to Lightwater Valley in probably 15 years, and it wasn't great the last time I went.
Yeah.
Once they removed the ultimate, it wasn't worth going.
Yeah, I mean, well, it is funny that, you know, if we had 3 million quid, we could buy a theme park. People spend that on houses in this country.
Crappy one. Who? Not me.
Yeah, but still.
Anyway.
People with money.
Yeah, people with lots of money. Anyway, moving on. They also focus on air quality. They said that our environmental studies would include consideration of air quality impacts arising from the traffic associated with the construction and operation of the theme park. This would include consideration of potential impacts on the Air Quality Management Area, AQMA, that currently exists in Bedford.
It's interesting, air quality's become quite a hot button thing, because if you look when Universal put their park hours out and stuff on the app every day, the air quality index is part of it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things which environmental pollution and its effect on health, and particularly our lungs, is becoming greater understood. And, you know, a lot of people are increasingly worried about it.
Interesting.
Understandable. Also, maybe that's just for Epic and the sewage smell.
See, I still haven't smelled that.
Oh, you don't want to smell it.
You don't. You're lucky you don't.
You really don't want to. So the gym we go to is down the corner from a waste treatment plant. And 9 times out of 10, it's absolutely fine. But on a hot day when the wind's blowing the wrong way, the walk from the car park to the gym is horrific.
Nice.
Yeah.
Going back to what we were speaking about earlier, they're also looking at historic environment. So Bedford Borough has a rich history with evidence of settlement from prehistoric Roman and medieval times. As part of our feasibility studies, we will undertake trial trenching across the site to understand what archaeological remains may be present. Findings of the trial trenching will inform plans for the excavation, removal and analysis of those remains before construction starts. That's interesting because we haven't heard anything about that yet.
I now have a new theory, which actually Universal do not care about building a theme park here. They've had a few of those articles about detectivists in this country stumbling across caches of Roman coins worth millions.
Okay.
This is all a distraction so that they can excavate that site and clear off all the gold.
And then use it to build a theme park.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, this has not been spoken about or anything yet. Because this is like new.
Yeah. But it's interesting how, if that trenching has gone on, we haven't heard the outcome of it. Because you would think...
Because they're busy shipping the gold off to the States.
But it's a thing big enough for them to mention it in this document, but not big enough... Because I think, Dawn, you mentioned it before, that they talked about starting construction next year. So you would think that this trial trenching would have gone on. And it's funny how we haven't heard the outcome of it. Maybe you're right, Guy. Maybe it's because they're like, oh, we need to just forget about mentioning that because we've just found $3 billion in Roman coins.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised, you know. Or they found absolutely nothing, and that's why. But I think the former. I think it's we're trying to quickly get out of the country without us noticing.
It's interesting, though. Anyway, continuing on. About noise and light. To make each area, we call them lands.
Actually, if it's Epic Universe, we call them worlds. Only in Epic do they call them worlds.
So we're only getting lands here, we're not getting worlds.
Oh, that's be so confusing. Anyway, to make each area, we call them lands within our theme parks work. We need our experiences to be truly immersive. A land at a universal theme park cannot be an immersive experience if the music from the land next door is heard. That is why we design our lands and used advanced technology to focus all the sound and light effects inwardly. As a result, the noise and light emanating from each land and the theme park as a whole is minimized. We conducted noise monitoring at key locations around the site in order to understand the existing noise environment and inform appropriate measures to mitigate potential noise impacts from the construction and operation of the theme park.
Interesting.
Well, I understand what they're saying here, and they are very good at it, but I think they're giving themselves a little bit too much credit here, because they've said that a land at a universal theme park cannot be an immersive experience if the music from the land next door is heard. I'm sorry, but at Epic, you're in Isle of Berk, Stardust Racers is literally going past you.
But you can't hear the music from it.
Okay, you can't hear the music, but sight lines also matter. And, being in Dark Universe, you can see Helios. They are very good, but they're not perfect at this.
There's also lights from Stardust Racers as well, because at night it lights up, doesn't it?
The comets.
But that's
shooting through the sky.
But then I don't think they're talking about Epic Universe because they use the word land, not world.
Oh, okay. A technicality.
Technicality.
Yeah. Look, I'm always going to defend Universal because I love them so much, but yes.
So do I.
I don't know whether they're trying to sell this as, I don't think they're selling it as we make perfectly themed worlds where the music is, where the music is held inside and you don't get to hear it outside. I think this is more of like, we know how to focus noise so you can't hear it outside. Therefore, that when we are constructing this park, we will also use that same knowledge and technology to keep the noise outside of the theme park from the construction to a minimum, I think is what they're saying there.
I am taking a bit of a devil's advocate position there because they are very good at this. I mean, in Islands, when you cross the bridge from Zeus to Lost Continent,
yes,
the sound from one fades, and the sound from the other kind of increases. Ditto from Hogsmeade and Jurassic Park. They are good at controlling that. I just think they're saying that something can't be an immersive experience if,
What I want to know is how have they conducted noise monitoring at key locations when everything is just like an open area?
Because then they would be able to even more, because if you whatever you're using as a sound device would echo it, well, not echo, but at least it would, the noise pollution from that would be even wider because there's nothing to dampen that sound.
But then when you build, you can build with materials that dampen sound that will help. If it's like an open area, surely that is like, unless it's like move further away, obviously sound will come.
But there are some natural things, environmental elements that provide natural noise protection. Trees will dampen noise.
Yeah.
Undulations in the ground level will provide some sort of buffer. So perhaps they're talking about, those sort of things.
Yeah.
Either way, it seems like they're doing their homework.
And baffling us with words. Moving on to something very dear to all of our hearts, and that is waste management. Our theme parks are carefully curated next to waste management. No, it's not. Just it's Epic Universe. Our theme parks are carefully curated so that any waste can be carefully and responsibly disposed of. The theme park and resort would have a robust and sustainable strategy for waste management which focuses on minimizing the amount of waste we produce and handling the waste we do produce in an environmentally friendly way. This includes endeavoring to use recycled and biodegradable materials for our packaging, promoting reusable products, as well as ensuring that we have strategies in place to handle all types of waste, such as recycling, organic, and compost. The collection and disposal would then be coordinated through the local waste authority. And I know Universal Orlando has like a whole subdivision that's called Green is Universal. That's all their recycling and waste management and stuff like that. So this isn't something that's new to them at all.
But I noticed that in the resorts and the hotel rooms, there's no recycling bin.
This is true.
Interesting.
They have it in Disney.
Yeah.
They have 2 bins in Disney, and a lot of other hotel rooms, they have 2 bins. But I've noticed, because it's so annoying, that I have to I keep it separate. So hopefully the housekeeping would take all the bottles and recycling, like cardboard, separately, so they can do it wherever, their waste management system. But in the hotel rooms, there's only literally 1 bin. There's 1 bin in the toilet and 1 bin in the desk
like the main area.
The park I can't remember seeing a.
Oh no, the parks do have recycling
Yes, the
bins.
parks
Not
have separate
everywhere,
ones.
Though.
Okay.
It's not everywhere.
A lot of them are, though.
Areas.
Like
yeah,
if you go
but then
around
some
Epic,
areas just got one bin.
if you go around Epic Universe, a lot of them, because the opening for the recyclables is bottle shaped, and it's also the same in the like restaurants and the food courts and stuff in the hotels. It's interesting that the hotel rooms don't. But the issue with that's those hotels are run by laws as well. So I wonder if that's part of it. Which takes us back. It's going to be so interesting to see what hotel company run the hotels at this park. It's going to be very interesting. Like I mean, I don't know what the reputation of Lowe's Hotels is in the US, but
It's good. It's a very upmarket hotel chain. I mean, Universal Resorts are some of the least expensive Lowe's resorts. We were going to Dawn's brother lived in San Francisco for a while, and we went out to visit him. And out of idle curiosity, I looked up the rate for the Lowe's in San Francisco. Very expensive. Very. They're like a luxury hotel chain.
So I wonder so in your opinion then, Guy, what's a UK brand that's on a par with that?
I don't know if we really have that sort of upmarket hotel brand over here, because we have upmarket hotels.
Radisson?
Hilton?
I mean, Madison Blue perhaps, but then they have very much their own aesthetic. I don't know. It's a really hard one.
But then
I personally think that Universal are probably going to run the hotel themselves, because I think that's what they do in Beijing.
I would be interested to look that up and see if that's the case.
I will look it up and see if that's the case. Oh no, they're managed by Key International, apparently.
Is that
so yeah,
Chinese
it's not
company?
Universal then.
No.
So it sounds like they'll partner with somebody.
Interesting.
That'd be interesting to see who they partner with.
Yeah, very.
Apparently, Beijing is minority owned by NBC Universal. A majority is owned by Beijing Shouhan Cultural Tourism Investment. They own 70% of Universal Beijing Resort.
That'll be
Chinese state-owned enterprise.
Yeah, that'll be like, is it Shanghai Disneyland that's it's not owned by Disney, it's owned by the Oriental Land Company and Disney.
The Oriental Land Company is the Tokyo part.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The Shanghai and Hong Kong parts are owned in large part by the Chinese government.
Okay.
Or the Hong Kong government in Hong Kong.
Interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see what Universal do as far as a partner for those hotels. Anyway.
Yeah, it would be.
Another concern of Universal's was managing transport. They said that getting people in and out of our theme parks safely and without disrupting our neighbors is crucial to our guest experience and our long-term relationships with our local communities. One of the main reasons we selected this site as a potential location for our first UK theme park is its exceptional transport links to London and the rest of the UK, and because the project can make use of existing spare capacity on local public transport services and roads.
Interesting, by the way. I don't know whether I'm reading into things, but I found that wording very interesting. Let me read that again. One of the main reasons we selected this site as a potential location for our first UK theme park.
Goes back to your previous episode where, what was that theme park?
Portaventura.
Portaventura.
But that's European. This is UK.
Yeah, and it's more the fact that I'm reading it that they're planning more because this is the first.
But if they were planning more, wouldn't it be at this resort, or would they?
Maybe, but that's what I'm saying. It's interesting that they've said first UK.
You may finally get Universal Darlington Resort.
No, I was meaning more that like you might get a Universal Studios Bedford and then like an Islands of Misadventure.
Well, yeah, they have said that the Bedford Park will be a studios park.
Yes, which is interesting when you look at the concept art. It looks more like an Islands of Adventure.
It looks like Universal Florida and Islands had a baby, a weird baby.
I mean, I'm sure we'll have an episode where we get into that.
I wonder how much land they bought.
I think we did know that, didn't we? It has been mentioned.
We did,
somewhere.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Right, so they've also asked how would people travel to this site, which is interesting. Yes, our initial study shows that about 35 to 40% of visitors would travel to us by train given the excellent transport links that already exist near to the site and planned improvements to the local rail network. This includes the East-West Rail connecting Oxford and Cambridge via the Marston Vale line, for which a new railway station is proposed in close proximity to the resort, and Wixham's railway station on the Midland Main Line. Around 10% of people would drive to the site. That seems like a small amount.
It does.
With a further...
But, if you're looking at this primarily being a resort aimed at international tourists, I mean, I can't imagine many people visiting London or renting cars.
No. With a further 25% as passengers. It seems a weird statement. So 10% of people will drive and the other 25% will be passengers in those cars.
I guess children.
That's
Children?
Yeah, but I think it's a way to make it sound like less
Yes.
people are driving than they actually are.
But why? Environment.
The rest would come to us by bus, taxis, or other methods of transport, like bicycle. We have built a comprehensive traffic model which has tested different scenarios across both weekdays and weekends, and this shows the network can accommodate our demand. All car parking will be contained on site and managed by Universal, and we are planning for around 4,200 spaces with an appropriate mix of electric vehicle charging points. More broadly, we can significantly influence how people travel to our parks and can maximise green travel by creating promotional packages and ticket offerings with local transport providers.
That's interesting.
It is, especially considering, like, for someone who lives a good 5 hours in the car away, a transport link by train would be very, very attractive to me.
Oh, absolutely.
And also, they're building a train station.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's one of the big things. You're only starting to see it briefly now with the Bright Line in Orlando, because trains aren't really a thing in the US, not like we use them here. So by using the existing rail system, whether you think it's good or not, by taking advantage of that, I think is massive.
Yeah, I'd agree. And also, I notice that they make a point of saying that the parking will be contained on site and managed by Universal. So it'll be interesting to see if they specify that about other features of the resort,
Yes.
such as the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, if I was going to this resort, I'd be taking the train.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd be paying a lot to do it in this country, but I'd be getting the train.
Yeah, that's true. Probably train is better. Anyway, continuing. When would people travel to the site? We plan for design travel to the site around peak periods, i.e. holidays and weekends, knowing that for a large portion of the year, the demand is below peak levels. During our peak periods, the background level of demand on transport networks is typically lower. Most theme park arrivals occur in the morning. However, most departures are in the evening outside of the rush hour when demand has peaked on the surrounding transport networks. Travel to theme parks is often counter-cyclical,
That's a word.
with people arriving on trains that would otherwise be relatively empty. Trains leaving London in the morning is one key example of where the resort can make use of available existing capacity on the transport network.
Interesting.
All of this is actually quite interesting. I didn't realise that you just wouldn't think
No.
Yeah.
these studies or whatever needs to happen.
Yeah, they could, have a chat with Merlin, because most departures from Alton Towers are definitely in rush hour, seeing as they shut around 5 p.m. most of the time.
And that's another thing that's going to be very interesting. We're going to delve into it. I think we talked about it on the last episode, didn't we? About meeting up at Alton Towers to kind of see what the competition is like, having, like, the four of us not been to Alton Towers Tracy and I haven't been for quite a while, but I think it's one of those, it will be very interesting to see what their operating hours are, because that's the one thing that really annoys me about Alton Towers. It has such a short, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter if you go in the middle of summer or whenever, it generally, I think the latest I've been at Alton Towers, like outside of a Scarefest, is, I think you're probably right, 5 o'clock. It's really early.
So what time does Scarefest go on until?
That's a good... I've never been to Scarefest at Alton Towers because it looks kind of kiddified, so I never bother going.
It's not going to be like Universal Horror Nights at 1 and 2 a.m.
No, it's probably going to be like 10 or 11 o'clock, I would think.
And the thing is, theme parks are better at night. They just are.
100%.
So having a major theme park in this country that actually operates decent hours is going to be great.
So you know how Epic, it wasn't quite designed for the Florida weather?
Yes.
With no coverings yet. Because if this is going to be open to the evening at any point, like the weather today, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, and going on rides, outdoor rides in this temperature is going to be brutal.
I've
really
been on
is.
Nemesis in hail. I've been on Big Thunder Mountain in Disneyland Paris when it started snowing. In Northern Europe, this is just what you accept when you go to a theme park in winter.
This was interesting to see if they would actually take this into consideration.
I think they need to. But I also...
Epic.
I've been recording an episode of Epic Universe Good, Bad and Ugly for my other podcast, and the amount of comments we've had about it not being built, taking into account the Florida weather and how the Great Britain park is going to be off the back of that, it does worry me. But then, like you said, Guy, there's a lot of videos going around at the moment of Phantasialand with one of their coasters going around with like 3 inches of snow all over the place.
Yeah, it's an event they do each year called Winter Twong. They do different operating hours, but they operate the roller coasters in freezing temperatures. So it's possible.
Can be fun. But to go back to your question, Dawn, earlier, Scarefest usually finishes at 9 p.m.
Horror Nights is just getting going at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Nuts. Well, I'm saying it now. I think New Year's Eve 2031, we should go to Universal.
That would be amazing.
I think we should.
Why 2031?
Because that's when it
the year
opens.
If we're in 2030, we'd just be kind of standing
Oh,
outside.
that Universal, okay.
Oh,
I thought
yeah. I meant Universal,
Yeah.
Bedford. Anyway, Universal would also be investing in local infrastructure. Should we proceed with this development, we would also help to facilitate a number of significant local infrastructure upgrades, such as the construction of Wixham's railway station, the delivery of a new station on the East-West rail line in close proximity to the resort.
Delivery? What? They just have it made off-site and just dump it on the back of a flatbread and bring it in? Is that what they're doing?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably be quicker.
Yeah.
Dedicated direct slip roads from the A421 to accommodate circa 85% of our road traffic. An upgraded Manor Road to tie in with a new railway bridge being delivered by Network Rail to replace the Manor Road level crossing. And improvements and upgrades to the active travel network. We would be seeking consent for these upgrades and, with the support of central government, working with National Highways, Network Rail and EWR to deliver them in a timely manner.
I want to know what they're going to name the station.
Universal.
I want to know what the station's going to look like.
It's going to look like a normal UK.
You say that, but okay, if you get the MTR in Hong Kong
I was just
to Hong Kong Disneyland,
right.
Oh, yeah, that's
if
true.
it's themed, it's
Okay,
awesome.
right then, guys. So the question, the thing you need to look at more is not that one. You need to look at what the train station near Universal Japan is.
I've been to Universal Japan, and I think on top of my head, it's just a subway station.
Exactly.
But Universal, did they build that?
I don't know. Oh, but yes, you're right. This is a different point. They are literally building that station for them.
Yeah.
And this is the Universal.
And it's run by Universal, whereas Japan, isn't that?
Yeah, that would be amazing,
by
by the way.
Universal itself?
I'm not entirely sure, actually. But I really hope it's a themed station. I love that sort of thing.
Yes.
You know, where the second you get, I hope the train is themed. Because again, in Hong Kong, when you get the MTR, there's a line which goes to Tokyo Disney. And when you get, on to Hong Kong Disney, when you get on the train, like, it's like the windows are Mickey Mouse shaped.
Yeah, like the monorail at the Magic Kingdom.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So I really hope that, you start getting that kind of Universal feeling and theming on your journey to the resort.
I think they will. When you look at, like you say, you've got to look at whatever's coming to this Bedford Park. The benchmark now is Epic Universe.
It is.
And I think that's a lot of what they're doing there, and you're starting to see how much immersion and how much theming is such a huge part of what they're doing now from start to finish. And I would expect if they're building a train station, I would be very surprised if it's not. Even if it's just lightly themed, but yes, that would be awesome to be able to for me, getting the train from up here down there and then getting that connecting train from wherever it might be to Universal Bedford and getting a themed train would be amazing. It really would be.
And getting out of the station and there's like thematic elements and the music is playing.
And it'd be freezing and it's pouring down. Yeah.
But you wouldn't care.
I probably would.
As much as normal.
No, that's true. They've also said they are serious about sustainability. Comcast has set a goal to be carbon neutral in Scope 1 and 2 by 2035, and our theme parks play an important role in this. Our operation focus on 3 key areas of sustainability: clean energy and energy efficiency, recycling and waste reduction, and water conservation. Some examples of how we've delivered on these include creating 250 kilowatt floating solar system at our Universal Orlando Resort. I have seen them. Converting all 21 of our Universal Hollywood Iconic Studio Tour trams to electric by 2025. That's now, so I will have to find out if they are. Collecting food waste from our on-site restaurants for waste to energy schemes. diverting as much as 69% of waste away from landfill, we take sustainability equally seriously. Our Universal Beijing Resort, which opened in 2021, is the world's first theme park and resort to receive LEED Gold certification for cities and communities. This certification sets a framework for healthy, highly efficient green buildings which offer environmental and social benefits. LEED is a US-based certification but is used around the world. LEED is similar to the UK equivalent BREEAM, the Building Research Establishment Environmental Assessment Method. Never heard of that. Should we proceed with this project, we would target the same rigorous LEED Gold certification and look to achieve this by focusing on the following areas.
Number 1, site. Selecting sites with access to public transit and amenities and develop sites with minimal impact to local ecosystems.
Water. Conserving freshwater resources through reduction and recycling of potable water.
Energy. Reducing emissions, improving efficiency and shifting to clean energy.
Materials. Prioritizing circular, low carbon and healthy materials.
Waste. Strive to limit waste in facility construction and operations.
Health and well-being. Create healthy, vibrant spaces that promote well-being. Well, yeah, Epic Universe. I just think of Celestial Park when I read that out. To create healthy, vibrant spaces that promote well-being is just Celestial Park.
I am shocked that they don't have like yoga sessions going on in like Celestial Park.
If you want to do that when you go in March, Guy, you crack on, mate.
Well, you know. Send me to the Plaza de Al for a couple of hours and we'll see what happens.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I've got to say though, again, as a theme park Universal nerd, this is something I had no idea about.
No.
But it's fascinating about, it's the world's first theme park and resort to receive LEED Gold certification. I don't really know what that is, but from the sounds of it, it sounds like they're trying and attempting and succeeding at something new and different, which is always great.
As I say, for someone who's been covering this resort for 15 years, I am finding out new and interesting stuff every time we do these episodes.
Yeah, just got to dig through the material to get to it.
Anyway, moving on, a considerate approach to construction. This would be one of the largest construction projects in the UK, which by itself could create thousands of job opportunities for people in Bedford and the surrounding areas. Like any major project, it would be a significant endeavour, and we have carefully considered how we would mitigate our impact on the local community as much as possible.
This is obviously going to be very different from Epic Universe because they were building Epic Universe in an area that wasn't really anywhere near residential areas, where this is much closer to residential areas. So sort of mitigating that impact on the local community is going to be much more of an issue here than it is in probably any of the other parks they've built, actually.
Well, I reckon Islands of Adventure, that is pretty close to Dr. Phillips.
It is,
the high school's very close, so they've got some experience, but then again, that is 1999 experience. So it's unlikely that sort of the same people are still working on the project.
I mean, I've got friends that literally live across the back of the Fear Factor stage because they always post it. They usually know what the set list is for the Fuel Girls or whatever show's going in there for Horror Nights before everyone else does because they can hear it from their front garden.
I'm not envious in the slightest. They're also planning a phased construction. At this early stage, without having a final design for the theme park and resort, interesting, including the rides and attractions, more interesting, we do not know how long construction would take, but expect it would be around 5 to 6 years. The workforce required would be expected to peak in year 3, with around 5,000 workers required on site. This is equivalent to 4% of the existing construction workforce within a 1-hour commuting distance of the site, or around 20% of the construction workforce within a 30-minute commute.
Wow.
It's estimated that around 300 of these would be full-time staff employed by Universal, and a further 500 would be ride operators and engineers who would take up their jobs during the construction phase, but then remain as permanent members of staff.
Okay.
That's interesting, because so they're not hiring companies, like construction companies, are hiring workers?
Sounds like that. Oh no, 300 of those would be full-time staff employed by Universal.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
5,000 workers required on site, so I imagine the majority would be contractors.
Yeah.
What is interesting is that year 3 would be the peak.
I guess that's once at all the...
I would say that the first couple of years are going to be a lot of foundation work then, and then actual proper building construction will be year 3 onwards.
I agree with that, having watched all the Universal Epic construction videos for years. But in my mind, I would expect it to sort of ramp up, as opposed to a peak in the middle and then a decline. But this is my...
Why would it be a decline?
Well, they're saying that it would be a peak around year 3, so year 4, year 5 would have less people than year 3. I would anticipate in my sort of uneducated head that there'd be an increasing number required each and every year throughout. But hey.
The more you know. They have also said they are employing locally. Our aim is to employ as many local people as possible during construction so that our investment here further benefits local people and businesses. Estimating how many workers may have to be sourced from further afield is complex and would also depend on the timescales of other infrastructure projects in the area, for example, East West Rail. It is expected most workers will be sourced from a 1-hour commuting distance, but some workers may have to come to the site from further distances and therefore may require temporary accommodation during the week, including the potential for an on-site accommodation. Initial research suggests that shortages and therefore recruitment from further afield are more likely in specialist construction fields and civil engineering. Some workers may also be hired from abroad in order to construct the specific rides. This is common for large-scale projects with specialist elements of construction. Well, of course, because if you look at, like, what are most of the coasters that Universal build now? Are they Intamin? They seem to, I think, Hagrid's, Velocicoaster, Stardust are all Intamin.
Stardust is Mac.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
What is Hiccups?
Think off the top of my head, I'm guessing it's Intamin.
And then Donkey Kong's like an amalgamation of Mac, Intamin, and something else.
Okay, so Hiccups was built by Intamin.
There you go. The vast majority of what coasters they're building at the parks have been Intamin at this point.
Yeah, and I'm not complaining about that.
No, not at all. I think most coaster manufacturers...
Where's Intamin from? What company? What country?
Be somewhere in Europe, because 90% of the decent coaster manufacturers...
Mac is German, B&M is...
Bollinger.
Liechtenstein.
Yes, I've just got the same information. Interesting. Tiny little country in the middle of Europe. Wow, you learn something new every day.
That's interesting, yeah.
I knew it was a European company.
They all
but in
are.
my head, it was just, oh yes, they're German because Germans build everything.
Most of the decent, like Vekoma and all the rest of them are all like B&M, like you say. Bollinger and Mabiard.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce that again. I've given up on that.
Okay, continue on. Managing traffic during construction. To minimize the impact from construction traffic on the local community, a construction traffic management plan will be implemented. Prior to the construction of the new exit slip roads from the A421, the primary construction access to the site would be from Woburn Road via a temporary site access that would be established on Broadmead Road just to the east of Marstonville Railway Line. This would be in place for the start of the enabling works towards the end of 2025, after which the access to the project site would transfer to the permanent Woburn Road realignment once those works are complete, which is anticipated to be mid-2027. At all times, a secondary emergency access to the site will be established from Manor Road. No construction vehicles, staff or HGVs will be permitted to access Broadmead Road via Stewartby Village.
To protect the children playing.
I lost 5,000 kids outside the park. Interesting that it says this will be in place for the start of enabling works towards the end of 2025. Well, we are towards the end of 2025.
There is activity on that site.
Okay.
So maybe those are what they would describe as enabling works.
Interesting.
It's going to be very exciting over the next few years.
Very
as it starts ramping up.
Yeah.
Universal ended their information pack by summarizing their track record. They said that Universal has delivered major theme park and resort projects around the world. Should this project proceed, we have a multidisciplinary team with highly experienced and talented designers, artists, writers, engineers, project managers, financial analysts, architects, and builders focused on delivering the industry's most compelling destination entertainment experiences to draw upon. Universal has developed 7 world-class theme parks, with 2 new theme parks currently under construction in the United States.
2?
There's also developed Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Kids Resort.
I mean, the answer's still only 1 because Epic Universe is already open. This document came out last year, so they were assuming Epic Universe was one of the other one, but you're right, yes.
It has also developed 4 City Walk locations, a water theme park, and 10 hotels, with 4 more under construction. Universal has created hundreds of shows and attractions, won dozens of industry awards for innovation and excellence, received more than 100 design and technology patents, and earns an international reputation for pioneering safety standards and maintaining attraction reliability, while delivering some of the most technologically advanced attractions in the world.
I have a question. These hotels that are in other states,
California. They don't operate.
There is
California
they
has-
don't have a hotel at
They
Universal
don't have
Hollywood.
hotels. Okay.
They will at the Tex Resort, though, won't they?
Yes.
I think that's part of the plan.
At Beijing.
With the 10 hotels with 4 more under construction.
At this point, it was Helios, Stella Nova, Tevaluna, and Kids Resort Hotel.
Yes, that's true.
That was a under construction one.
Yes.
And then the 10 hotels.
But there's more than 10 hotels. There's endless. So you've got, there isn't though, is there? Dockside, Surfside, Aventura, Cabana Bay, Sapphire Falls, Hard Rock, Royal Pacific, Portofino. There's 8. The one at Universal Beijing, that's 9. Where's the other one?
Universal Japan?
I think it has a hotel, but I don't think it's I don't think it's a park hotel. I'm trying to figure out where that 10th hotel is.
It's definitely not Hollywood.
No, they don't have one anywhere near. They've just got good neighbor hotels.
Yeah, there's an official hotel at Universal Japan called the Park Front Hotel.
Okay.
Is the official hotel of Universal Japan.
That's fair.
So there's no, like the hotels in Florida are all run by Lowe's.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Beijing is run by
Another company.
another company, Japan, another company.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's going to be interesting about this hotel is the theme of it. Because one of the things I talk about a lot on UUOP that I love about the hotels at Universal Orlando is the fact that each one is a timeless theme. Like you look at what a lot of the hotels at Disney, and they're kind of kitsch and a bit tacky. Universal's the only one that has the potential to age, I think, is Aventura, maybe.
I don't think it will if they refresh the rooms and the technology within the rooms over time.
I've never stayed there.
It's a fairly neutral, slightly upmarket feeling, adult skewed hotel. It feels like a business.
But I've never I've been there. We've been up to Bar 17 and hung out there, but I've never actually stayed at Aventura before.
I think for me, Aventura lacks personality compared to the others.
Okay.
But the location is great because it's, shares the sort of entryway with Sapphire.
Yeah.
It is going to be interesting though, because as you say, they haven't fallen into the trap of theming a hotel to an IP or a property. And I know Disney haven't quite done that, but Art of Animation, that is, it's got IP throughout it.
Yeah. Pop Century.
There are timeless Disney resorts though. I mean, I know they're horrendously expensive, but the beach and yacht club are stunning.
Yeah, you look at the Grand Floridian, the Polynesian, but they are really upscale.
Well, the prices are. I mean, the actual hotels themselves.
I'd actually like to stay at the Boardwalk. We
stayed at the Boardwalk in a DVC years ago.
The Boardwalk looks really nice.
We stayed at Beach Club in DVC, renting points. But they aren't as nice as the Universal Resorts.
Okay.
At least in art.
Interesting. That's the end of that document. The interesting thing for me, and I was going to bring this up a little bit ago, it just goes to show. So let me go back again a little bit further. We talked about a lot of this document is talking about if we go ahead. You can't tell me that they've done all of this planning. They've literally planned everything for the start of this construction project. Surveys for traffic, noise, environment, all the rest of it. So much work gone into this project already for it not to go ahead.
I agree. I think that verbiage was put in there to give them a get out clause in case there was some sort of political upheaval, some sort of they didn't get the planning permission.
But then also, how long have they been working on this project? For it to be at this point, with all these surveys and everything they've done.
And they were at this point a year plus ago.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Nearly like 18 months ago.
Yeah, so I wonder where they are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they already had their fingers in the pie quite a few years ago.
Oh, definitely. And they say we don't know what the theme parks will look like. I agree they probably don't know the absolute specifics, but I think they have a pretty good idea at this point. Or at this point. Not now, then. Yes.
I think they will now. And you only have to look at that concept art. I've talked about it a lot with people, and we've talked about it on UUOP, about Universal Orlando's concept art. If you look at any of the concept art that's come out since probably Hogsmeade and compare the concept art to the finished product, they are 90%, if not closer than that, to the to the actual thing. So I think that concept art that you've got there, look at the Epic Universe one that came out and then have a look at that park and you go, yeah, it's pretty much that's what it is.
I mean, some things that were in the concept art aren't there in reality, but everything that was in the concept art that is there is identical to how it looks.
But then also a lot of people looking at that concept art and going, so we know that expansion's coming. That's what it's going to be because it's in the concept art.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people using that image of the Monsters show.
Yes.
As you know, the headline image on articles discussing potential expansions. That's not going to happen. We know that.
Yeah.
Because Curse of the Werewolf went in the space of that. Although part of me does wish we could have Monsters show because I think that'd be awesome.
It'd be weird. I don't know what that would look. Although I would like to see more shows in that park.
Yeah.
I think it needs more than 2.
I just want to see more in that park, but I think that Islands of Adventure needs a show before Epic gets a 3rd show.
I would agree with that 100%. Yes, that is very true.
Has it ever had a show?
Islands? Yeah, it used to have Poseidon's, Sinbad, and then it used to have the Matt Hoffman freaking crazy BMX stunt show thing. Doesn't matter.
Was just a weird
it was
thing.
Still a show. It was still there. It still had a stadium with things going on in it, the people, and now it doesn't have it. It's got the Frog Choir and the Tri-Wizard Spirit Rally. And I mean,
they're not shows, they're like entertainment. You know?
It's still a show, effectively. And then they used to do
like a
sit
spectacular
down
one where you go in and sit down, and
like they don't even do the Seuss Landing show anymore where they used to. Now they just do it out in the street, like by the side of Books, whatever that place is called.
Yeah, you're right.
It used to be, if you go down the left side of Cat in the Hat, there's like a little stage there and a load of seating. They used to do it down there, and they don't even do it there anymore because I think people didn't realise it was there. But yes, Islands desperately needs a show.
Yeah. And I'm hoping we get a couple of, Epic Universe level shows at the UK park.
Well, it'll be interesting because I know the head creative person for said shows in Epic Universe doesn't work for Universal anymore.
That is a crying shame. That
so
it is a shame. But I mean, I have seen some of the footage of the new Paddington stage show that's starting in London.
Yes, that would be interesting.
Along the lines of that would be pretty great.
Or even just that Paddington meet and greet.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be cool.
Along the lines of the How to Train Your Dragon animatronics.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. This is one thing I can't wait to delve into that concept art.
Yes.
I really can't.
That would be an interesting conversation.
We absolutely had to do this. We had to go through everything Universal put out. But, this is all Universal's sort of official word on the project, which, they're obviously not giving too much away at this point. And the sort of things that we as theme park geeks are, really into.
Yeah.
Sure, we find this interesting, but we are interested in the lands, we're interested in the rides, we're interested in the foods, the drinks, the worlds or the land, everything.
But this is stuff like, for me, again, having covered Universal Orlando for nearly 15 years, this stuff I find fascinating. And it just makes you
100%.
appreciate that company so much more. And it enhances going to those theme parks. One of the things that I really worried about starting UUOP, we started it in 2011 and I didn't go back to Universal Orlando until 2013. So we delved a lot behind the scenes and talked to people who used to work there and blah, blah, blah. And you've kind of pulled the curtain back from the so-called magic. And I was worried that it would spoil going to that resort, and it did not. It just completely enhanced it for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I mean, for example, I will never watch a video of a ride until I've been on the ride myself. But once I've been on a ride a few times, I love it learning how they work.
Yeah.
So, for example, using Forbidden Journey. The first time I rode Forbidden Journey blew my mind. I have no idea how they did it. I mean, it also blew my stomach a bit, but that's another topic entirely.
It still does.
But learning how that they use those IMAX domes, for example,
is amazing.
It's just so clever. And I love experiencing it without knowing that the first time, but then once I've already experienced it, I get a great appreciation by paying attention, that sort of thing. Like riding rides without 3D glasses when they want to wear 3D glasses, looking in the directions they aren't guiding you to look. I love it all,
One of my favourite things is riding Transformers with someone who's never ridden it before and blowing their mind at the lift in the middle of it. And like getting at the end of it, so riding it with them once and going, this is on 2 levels, don't you? And they go, what? And they go, right, let's go and ride it again. And then showing them that section, they're like, holy crap, you would never know that was there unless you looked. It's so
It's
well
seamless.
hidden. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Very clever. Yeah.
Is that the same ride system as Spider-Man?
Yeah. But
that's
it's on 2 floors.
Yeah.
Because it's in
Yeah,
such
I
a
love
small...
Spider-Man.
I prefer Transformers.
The thing is, I rode Spider-Man in 1999 when I was 13 years old. You know, that ride is the ride which like turned me into the nerd I am today. So it's kind of, you know, got that
That's
special
fair.
place in my heart.
A nostalgic factor.
Yeah.
Dawn, what ride turned you into the nerd you are today? Are you a nerd?
Probably not to this extent.
No. Tracy's the same as you. Me and Guy are the proper nerds, and you and Tracy are the kind of the every person.
Without Guy, I don't think I would have been as into like
I don't think you
Universal.
would have ever gone.
I don't think I would have ever. No.
Wasn't on your radar.
No. Yeah. I probably wouldn't have ever gone to Universal.
But after the first trip, she was like, okay, I get it now. When are we
Yeah.
going back?
Yeah, we went back almost every year.
Yeah. Every year we could.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Dawn, you still haven't answered my question.
What ride turns you into the nerd?
Probably.
Fast and the Furious.
Oh, that's like the worst ride.
Cat in the Hat.
Go on,
Probably Cat in the Hat.
Honest.
That used trolley train.
Yeah, I think Zoo's Trolley Train ride is probably in Dawn's top 3 rides at the resort.
I like it.
It's so relaxing.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you can kind of like see a bird's eye view
Yes.
over the park, and especially on a nice, clear, sunny day.
Or riding at Gold now, just
Oh,
to the front
yeah.
and down.
It's just not long enough.
Yeah, I agree. I think, at quiet times they should do
Both
laps.
laps. Yeah, I agree. I think we've said that before. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I do love that ride. Yeah. It's hard to walk past that ride. Like, if it's got a short wait or if it's got Old River Express, we don't really pass it without riding it.
And it's one of those rides that most people don't realise that it was not an opening day attraction.
No, I remember it was meant to be Mr. Monkey McBean's very unusual driving machines.
Sylvester McBean, whatever he's called. Sylvester Monkey McBean's unusual driving
machines. Be like a false memory of mine, but I went there on opening year, and obviously it didn't open quite a few years after that. And the original concept was, little individual vehicles and you go along the track and blah, blah.
And you controlled them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think they had some vehicles on the track. I'm not sure they're moving or not, but obviously like with characters in them sort of thing.
See, we were there in 2004 and High in the Sky Zoo's Trolley Train ride hadn't opened at that point. I don't think it opened until the year after, maybe even later. And I remember a track being there, but I don't remember anything being on it. But that was 21 years ago. My memory's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a complete false memory. But in my mind, I'm not sure who knows. But I think for Dawn, it wasn't so much... Dawn is not as into rides as me and you are. I think...
I used to be into rides, but I'm not like... I think as I got older, I don't know. It's just my stomach can't handle the rides. That's what it is.
I understand
the drops,
that. That's
especially.
Fair.
Yeah. But
I think for you, it was just
it's the
alignment. Yeah, that's it.
That's the thing. It's the immersion. It's the theming to the theme parks. That's what I just love. And especially the thing is in Florida, the weather. Obviously, we go. Obviously, we don't go in the summer. We go in the UK winter and get some winter sun, and it's just being there, kind of you taken away from reality.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like immersed in whatever world.
And you can forget about life. It just takes you away from life. Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
The bubble.
It's a bubble. And that used to be the same with Disney as well. It's being transported to a different world.
Yeah.
And that's what I actually really like about that place.
I hate
because it's easy as well. You don't have to. If you want to relax, you can relax by the pool with a hotel. You can. There's other places
he doesn't do
to visit in Florida.
No, I don't do that.
There's bars, there's restaurants. Like the food is the food is incredible. It's not just sort of bog standard theme park foods. You can get it if you want to, but it's all these different foods you never really taste. We don't really go to the country like Sapphire Falls. What's that?
Oh,
strong water. Yeah. Food.
I love strong water.
That's one thing that this theme park coming to the UK is going to blow people's minds, because if you go to Alton Towers and it is exactly what you would expect from theme park food, exactly what you would expect. Whereas this is going to elevate. I think I'm sure we'll do episodes on it, but I think Merlin are going to have to step their game up substantially.
Oh, 100%.
I want to know what's going through their minds, like the CEO, whatever.
Probably sheer panic. They're not in a good position financially, and now they have Universal opening.
But then it's that whole thing of a rising tide lifts all ships. If they play this right, they can come out of it very well. If they don't, it could ruin them.
Well, yes and no. I agree with you, but in Orlando that works because Universal and Disney are 20 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
But unless you are a theme park enthusiast visiting Universal Bedford,
That's
are
true.
you really going to then go to Alton Towers or
true.
Thorpe Park? They are not exactly around the corner, and they're not exactly, destinations that your average tourist is going to go out of the way to visit.
Anyway, we've completely gone off topic.
Yeah.
So, wow, that brings us to the end of this 5th episode of the podcast. We are excited to continue looking into the creation of this new resort.
Yeah, I can't believe we're on episode 5 already, guys. It's crazy.
Time flies,
Make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Just search UUGBP and email us. And you might want to get in touch soon because we are going to be doing some sort of listener interactive bit for the next episode. I think we decided before we started recording that email is universalgreatbritain@gmail.com.
Be sure to check out the other podcasts in the UUOP network, the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast,
Rush of Fear, a year-round Halloween Horror Nights podcast,
the Theme Park Duo, the SoCal Theme Park and Haunt News, as well as general theme park info.
And if you want to find out all about that amazing food and beverage that Universal Orlando has to offer, The Taste of Universal is the podcast for you.
the Portkey Passport, an adult-centric Disney podcast,
And Big Dumb Stuff, our comedy, pop culture, and themed entertainment podcast. Find them on all podcast platforms.
I'm not supposed to say this, I'm not supposed to take favourites, but Big Dumb Stuff is my favourite podcast on the network right now. We'd also love you to help shape the conversation on UUGBP, so please get in touch if you have any topics you want to hear us cover. And of course, like I say, there's going to be an interactive episode coming up, so keep an eye on the Facebook page and the Instagram page to get involved.
But for now, that'll be us signing off. We hope you'll join us next month on the unofficial Universal Great Britain podcast.
Tassie bye.